Zoe TV.
The bright rainbow colors in the sky started to dance and swirl like cotton candy in a giant mixer. Down below, Zoe was chasing colorful butterflies through a field of singing flowers when something sparkly caught his eye. A golden egg with swirling purple spots was floating just above the tallest sunflower, spinning slowly like a magical music box.
Wow!
The egg began to glow brighter and brighter, making tiny bell sounds that tickled Zoe's ears. Suddenly, it zoomed down and gently bumped into his hands. The moment Zoe touched it, the whole world around him turned into a kaleidoscope of amazing colors.
This is so colorful! This is huge!
Trees became candy canes, clouds turned into fluffy marshmallows, and the ground beneath his feet felt like bouncy trampolines. The magic egg started to grow warm in Zoe's hands, and beautiful sparkles began floating out of it like tiny dancing stars. Each sparkle that touched something made it come alive in the most wonderful way. Rocks started rolling around like playful puppies, flowers began to giggle and sway to invisible music, and even the wind started painting pictures in the air with invisible brushes. Zoe felt a tickly feeling in his tummy, like when you go down a really big slide.
Boom!
The egg was pulling him up, up into the sky. But he wasn't scared at all. Instead, he felt like he was floating on a cloud made of happiness. As they soared higher, Zoe could see that the world below looked like a giant patchwork quilt made of every color imaginable. The egg carried Zoe to a place where the sky met a sea of liquid silver. Here, other magical eggs were floating around like boats on water.
Huh, that is so cute!
Some eggs were covered in tiny mirrors that reflected rainbow lights, others had soft fur that looked like baby chicks, and some even had little wings that flapped gently in the breeze. But Zoe's egg was different.
That is unbelievable!
It started to crack open with the sound of tiny Christmas bells ringing. Inside, there wasn't a baby bird or a dragon like in fairy tales. Instead, there was a glowing seed that looked like a miniature sun. The seed jumped out and landed in Zoe's palm, making his whole hand glow with warm, golden light. The moment the seed touched Zoe's skin, he understood something amazing. The egg had chosen him because his heart was full of kindness and wonder. The seed began to sprout right there in his hand, growing into a tiny tree with leaves that changed colors like a fast-moving sunset. Each leaf that fell from the little tree turned into something beautiful. Some became butterflies, others became soap bubbles filled with tiny rainbows, and some turned into paper boats that sailed away on invisible rivers in the air. As Zoe watched in amazement, the tiny tree kept growing, but not bigger, it grew more magical. Its roots reached down and tickled his fingers, while its branches stretched up and started picking star-shaped fruits from the air itself.
Beautiful!
The fruits tasted like birthday cake, ice cream, and sunshine all mixed together. The tree began to sing a wordless song that made Zoe feel like he was the luckiest boy in all the worlds that ever existed. Other children started appearing from behind silver clouds, all holding their own magical eggs and riding on shooting stars. They all gathered around Zoe's tree, and together they discovered that when all their magical eggs' powers combined, they could paint the whole sky with their dreams. Zoe's tree suddenly sprouted a swing made of moonbeams, and as he swung back and forth, he scattered seeds of joy everywhere. Each seed that fell created something wonderful: a new playground, a field of chocolate flowers, a lake filled with liquid laughter that made everyone giggle just by looking at it.
Look at that!
The other children joined in, and soon they were all swinging from branch to branch of a giant tree that had grown from all their combined magic. The tree was so big that its leaves brushed against the stars, and its roots reached down to tickle the earth below. Every time they laughed together, new branches grew, creating more swings, slides, and secret hideouts among the clouds. As the adventure continued, Zoe realized that the magic egg hadn't just chosen him randomly. It had been waiting for someone who believed that magic was everywhere, hiding in ordinary moments like chasing butterflies and watching clouds. The egg had seen into Zoe's heart and found someone who understood that the best magic happens when it's shared with friends. The golden tree began to glow even brighter, and suddenly, tiny doors appeared all along its trunk. Behind each door was a new adventure waiting to happen. One led to a land where music grew on trees, another opened to a place where you could swim through clouds, and yet another revealed a world where colors could be eaten like candy. But the most amazing thing of all was that wherever Zoe went from that day forward, little sparkles of magic followed him. Not the flashy kind that makes loud noises and bright lights, but the gentle kind that makes ordinary days feel extraordinary. The kind of magic that turns puddles into mirrors showing other worlds, makes shadows dance when nobody's watching, and whispers secrets in the rustling of leaves. The magic egg had chosen wisely, and Zoe carried its gift of wonder with him always, sharing it with everyone he met through his bright smile and curious eyes that saw magic hiding everywhere.
See you tomorrow!